And I am back at it, back at it, back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. Listen, it is time to talk about these Jets coming off of a tough loss to the Bills. We'll be discussing that. We'll be discussing Mike White. So we'll be talking about it all. I hope everyone's had a great day. Join your boy. All right. Call in 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. The lines are open right now. We're going to get to everyone in a second. Please call in. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm connect the audio, and then we're going to get to it. Hold on 1 second.
Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it, back at it, back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. All right, it's time to have discussion. Listen, the New York Jets are coming off of a tough loss to the Buffalo Bills where Mike White showed a lot of grit. There was a lot of fight in this football team as well. We're going to be discussing that. We're also going to be discussing the upcoming game we got against the Lions. A lot of people ready to talk playoffs. We'll have a little bit of talk about that tonight as well with the callers. So everybody hold on. We'll get to everybody. We'll also be having a cool little guest come on just for a hot second. We're going to have some discussion. So listen, let me get into the show. I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. Your boy's also on Twitter as well. All right, going over to Twitter, type in at The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe. Follow the show's page, and I'll follow you right back. We go back and forth about the Jets. Personal page as well as at YoungJ000. Again, at YoungJ000. Your boy's also on iTunes. Going over to iTunes, okay? Type in The Long Beach Joe Show. Subscribe to the podcast over there. All right? Give me a 5-star rating. Let me know what you folks think about what I do here on the podcast side of things. And the live radio show clearly is broadcasted, okay? For those of you that may not know, some people just kind of getting in and is like, Joe, what's going on? We didn't know you were live streaming the show. We didn't know, you sound great, but you look good too. I'm not arrogant. You know what I'm saying? I'm not arrogant. I'm not an arrogant guy. But, people are saying, Joe, you look good, man. We like how you look. We like the takes you bring. Well, guess what? Come on over to YouTube, okay? Type in Long Beach Joe Jets, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube, okay? Hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so when I post content, y'all be in the know, man. We have a lot of fun, live shows, live reactions to the games. We do shows after the games. I post content. We're doing it all right? So come on over to YouTube and watch the show live. You know what I'm saying? And again, I want to thank and salute to everybody that gets involved with my content any way that they do. It's greatly appreciated. So we're going to be having a discussion tonight again. Bills game. Jets lose 20-12. We're going to be talking about that. A lot of good things we saw out of the game. It was tough, a tough loss, but Mike White showed a lot of grit. We also, again, Quentin Williams, we saw an injury, but, we'll be discussing that. He looks like he's going to be okay. He's 50-50, so it's a lot better than we thought. But before we get to that, everyone knows I love to positively impact my community. That's what I'm all about. And we're going to have a guest come on today, okay, that's doing a lot of great things. Again, we're in the month of December. Christmas is coming. There's a lot of kids out there looking for toys that may not be in the position to get them. But guess what? Our guest tonight, Mark V. Lee and the Mark V. Lee Toy Drive, everything they do is all about bringing those toys and giving those children a happy Christmas. So let's go ahead and bring Mark on. Mark, salutes to you. I want to thank you for coming on the Long Beach Joe Show tonight, Mark. How are you feeling, my friend?
My man Joe, buddy, how are you? How's the weather out there in Long Beach? I'm sure it's a lot better than here in Jersey.
It's kind of cold out here. I know for y'all, it's like in like the 50s or something. But I'm sure for y'all, like 50s is nothing. You're out there on the East Coast freezing, your tails off. But that's really cold for me out here. All right, so I'm free. I'm out here shivering so much it looks like I'm dancing. Okay, but but when we start to talk about this toy drive and everything that you're doing over there, can you please inform our audience? Tell us exactly what the Mark V. Lee Toy Drive does for the community and how it has its impact.
Yeah, absolutely. For those that don't know, here in Jersey City, my father back in 1985 with Jersey City Fire Department started handing out just toys to local kids in the neighborhood. And from there, it kind of just, became its own monster, man. He just started going to different outreach programs, different neighborhoods, and, providing Christmas for kids that were, less fortunate. And he passed away in 2014 from 9/11 related illnesses. And the year of his passing, he provided around 2,500 toys for kids in Jersey City. Me and my mom, we took over, in his name and created the Captain Mark Lee Toy Drive in his memory. And we're upwards to about 6,000 kids now. Testament for him, he's a little old school. So, there was no really social media back then. He was more like, door to door, just getting the word out there, word of mouth. We pretty much have taken it to social media now. We have our own website. Everyone here in Jersey City knows what we do. We just try to give back to the kids just because we're in a position to do so, and try to give that, holiday spirit to kids that don't really have a Christmas.
Yeah. And Mark, let me tell you again, I want to thank you for all that you folks are doing over there, because that is extremely important. There's a lot of, children out there that would be struggling to have a Christmas if it wasn't for you folks giving those toys and getting involved and just putting a smile on their face for that day, which is huge. Now, when you're talking about everything that you're doing over there, the toys and how you folks are, having these, kids come over and have a great time, how can my listeners get involved with you? How can they donate? What can they do? Where can they bring the toys that they may want to donate to the toy drive to help give these kids a Christmas?
Yeah, like I was saying, we have a website now. It's CaptainMarkLeeFund.org. If you want to go to donate, you can any monetary donation you want to send. We're a nonprofit organization. 100% of that money goes towards toys, goes towards kids in the community. If you're passing through Jersey City and you want to pick up a toy, drop it off at any of the firehouses. Just let them know Captain Mark Lee, and they'll know exactly where it's going to go. They'll reach out to me. We also deal with Toys for Tot program and stuff like that. So different variations of ways to come and help out. We also have our toy giveaways next week. Saturday, we're down Newark Pedestrian Plaza from 10 to 12. Come on in, stop in, hang out, give some toys away. Sunday, we're at the Mary Bethune Center on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Great community outreach program here in Jersey City. And we'll be there once again from 10 to 12. Pop in, show face, give out, a couple toys, see where these toys are going. And, it goes a long way, I'm telling you. So any little bit helps, any dollar helps, any little toy helps, believe me.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, here we're with Mark Lee of the Mark V. Lee Toy Drive. Phenomenal things that they're doing there. Again, if you're in Jersey City, anywhere around those fire departments, go over there, drop off a toy, let them know that you want to give it to that toy drive and help these children out. Now, we've talked a bit about your toy drive there, Mark. I want to talk to you about these Jets, man. All right? Me and you, we bleed green.
Let's do it.
We bleed green. I know you bleed green. I know you love this team. I love this team as
well. I
well.
bleed green, baby. I bleed green all the way.
That's what I'm talking about now. What are your thoughts about this team so far, and how are you feeling about this loss how are you feeling after this loss to the Bills?
I'll be honest with you. We've been losing for the last couple of years now, and even these losses don't feel the same like they used to in the past. Mm-hmm. This team has a lot of heart. They have a lot of fight. It's great to see. We're definitely trending upwards. Every game we're right in it. We're right in that game. A few less mistakes here, a few less penalties there. And our record would be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We got some tough games coming up. We got the Lions and a big one next week.
Yep.
Then we got the Jaguars, the Seahawks, and end with the Dolphins. So we're a little outside the bubble right now when it comes to the playoffs. I have a lot of faith in this team. I think we can sneak in. If we do sneak in, I think we're going to be a problem, Joe.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, my final question before I let you go, Mark, Mike White, give me your thoughts on him. And is in your mind, is he the New York Jets starting quarterback going forward for the rest of the season?
Last year after the Bengals game, we spoke, a little bit, talking about some of the things that Mike White was doing. I'm a huge fan. I love Mike White. Some of the plays that he makes his team better. He's a win right now quarterback with these guys. Stepping up in the pocket, getting cut in half, making a beautiful throw, coming back out, showing his grit, showing his toughness. These guys play hard for Mike White.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see it. Is he the quarterback moving forward? I don't know. I think he gives us the best chance to win right now. I personally think that after the first week of sitting and not dressing Zach Wilson, we should have made an adjustment and had him dressed for this game.
Mm-hmm.
The one game not dressing because, here goes Mike White. He gets hurt, right? I think Zach Wilson needs that opportunity to step up and get into that game, even if it's just for a series or two. You gotta have Zach Wilson dressed just in case these things happen. But right now, this is Mike White's team moving forward. And I think that, he gives us, like I said, the best opportunity to win and get us that playoff run.
Yeah. We'll see what happens going forward. Again, I'm a week-to-week guy. I know people are screaming about the playoffs, and we got a chance.
That's it.
We got a chance.
You got to be a week-to-week guy with these Jets.
We got a chance, though. Patriots got some tough games coming up. If we can,
do.
We'll see. All right. But, Mark, before I let you go, man, give everybody, again, all the ways that they can contact you about the toy drive, how they can drop off their toys, any way that they can get involved. Please let my audience know, again, everything that they can do.
Absolutely. So, if you happen to be in the Jersey City area on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday this week, stop on out to Newark Pedestrian Plaza or Mary Bethune Center on Sunday from 10 to 12. We'll be out there handing out toys to the kids. Come bring an unwrapped toy. If you happen to be in the area during the week, drop off the toy to any of the firehouses. Just mention my name, Mark Lee, Captain Mark Lee. They'll know exactly where to bring the toy. If you want to do any type of monetary donation, we have a website now. It's the CaptainMarkLeeFund.org. We're a nonprofit organization, and every dollar goes to a toy to give back to this community and to these kids.
Yeah. Listen, Mark, it's been phenomenal to speak with you again. I want to thank you for everything that you do with the toy drive. Salutes and respect. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
Joe, you're the best. Thank you so much for giving, Jet fans this platform and myself this platform to, do good for the community. And, you're always a big supporter of the toy drive. I can't thank you enough, buddy, and your audience. You guys are the best.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. You have yourself a good night.
You too, buddy. Let's go Jets.
That's what I'm talking about. Go Jets. That's what I'm talking about all day long, okay? Listen, again, everyone, please get involved with the toy drive any way you can. Mark V. Lee Toy Drive. Take a toy, an unopened toy, to any of the Jersey City Fire Departments. Let them know that you would like to give it to the Mark V. Lee Toy Drive, and they will get it to Mark V. Lee so they can help these children. Again, there's a lot of kids out there that will not, or could not have a Christmas without this, and it's extremely important. If you can get involved, if you don't have a toy, monetary as well, as they said, the website's there. It's also on my social medias as well too. Get involved any way that you can there, and please give if you can. So again, salutes to Mark V. Lee and all the work that they're doing with the Mark V. Lee Toy Drive. So Now moving forward, we're going to get to every one of the callers. Please be patient. We'll get to you again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. Also, salutes to all the savages in the chat. David Staples, thank you. Salutes. He says, hey, Joe, nice job with the charitable guest. Thank you so much. Salutes to everybody again. Jake, Larry, everybody that's in there. Randilla, GM, salutes to everybody. Val, salutes to you as well. Venom, everybody that's in there. It's a ton of names. Salutes to everybody. So we're going to get into it now, man. We're going to talk about this New York Jets football team. And let me tell you something, it was a tough loss against the Bills, really was. Again, it was a back and forth defensive battle, especially early in this game. A lot of punting. The Bills punter was just, I don't know what he was doing or going through, but this man was pinning us inside the 1 and 2 yard line consistently. All right. They got a guy over there with a leg for real, So early it was really, tough for us, again, to try to get offensive drives going, but it was tough for the Bills as well. Our defense was putting things together, especially early. Quinnen Williams was just getting pressure on Josh Allen. So was the rest of the defense. They had 3 sacks on the day against him. Rankins was playing his butt off too. Guys were getting after it, man. And then we were trying to put something together in the second quarter to really get going. Corey Davis had already gotten hurt. He got concussed in this game again in the first quarter. He only had 1 catch for 15 yards. We're going to be discussing him today as well. It sucks to see him go down again. Again, we'll see what happens with him going forward when he's going to be able to get himself back on the field. But he's missed quite a bit of time coming off the MCL, the knee injury. Then he has, a concussion. Last year, he missed a lot of time as well with that hip injury. So going forward, I'm looking to see Corey Davis get back on the field, get healthy, and get rolling. Second quarter, though, I tell you what, Mike White hit Elijah Moore on the 24-yard catch and run and got destroyed by the Bills defender, man. And he actually ended up leaving the football game. Now, this is where the legend of Mike White just continues to be built, because he could have left this game and walked away and said, you know what, I'm done for the night. All right, y'all have a good one. Y'all go out here, battle the Bills. I'll see y'all on the plane home. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what happened. This man fought, got back. We also saw Flacco come in. He looked old and stiff. He's out there just throwing balls around. But then we saw Mike White check himself back into the game on 3rd and 10, and he hit Garrett Wilson. I'm talking about ripped the ball to Garrett Wilson for a 12-yard pitch and catch, and that got the Jets the first down and continued their drive. Now, again, Garrett Wilson on the day, 6 catches for 68 yards. Garrett Wilson also holds the Jets' single-season rookie receiving record, okay? Keyshawn Johnson had that before, 844 yards. Garrett has 868 yards and 4 touchdowns this season. That record has stood for 26 years. Garrett Wilson is phenomenal. I'm talking about unbelievable. The work he's put in this season is amazing. And again, that bodes well for the Jets, because here's another young guy that Joe Douglas has drafted that's going to move forward with us for years to come and be able to put in work. So again, as the drive continued, we saw Mike White get sacked on 2nd and 12. And, he actually ended up fumbling, but CJ Uzomah was able to get back on the fumble. The Bills were also able to start a drive after we punted. And this was a drive that really kind of was it was a pivotal drive within the game, because the Bills were trying to put something together to get on the board, all right? 3rd and 6, Josh Allen scrambles, gets brought down. Now it's 4th and 1, okay? He got 5 yards, 4th and 1 right now. And the Bills line up. And everybody in the building knew that the Bills were not going to snap that football. Everybody. Me, you, people down the street, the guys playing at the rec league around the corner, okay? Everybody knew that. People at Walmart, at Target, people at your local grocery store. Everybody knew that the Bills were not going to snap that football, and they were trying to bait us to get an offsides or an encroachment call. They got a guy in motion. He comes under the center, lines up, and C.J. Mosley just comes flying over the top. Whoop, weep. Flags go up. It's an easy encroachment call. Now, look, I love C.J. Mosley. I do. I think he's phenomenal. He's been phenomenal for us, and he did make some plays later on in this game to really get himself back and kind of redeem himself for that mistake to get us the ball back. But that was egregious. That was egregious, and here's why. C.J. Mosley is a veteran in this league. He's a veteran. He knows those moments like nobody else, all right? He's been a Raven before he came to us. This guy knows the NFL. You know that they're not going to do that. And that was a critical penalty in a critical moment. And again, the New York Jets this season and last season tend to get these critical penalties in critical moments that help extend drives, and there was another one. Because on that drive, as it continued, that got the Bills the first down, kept their drive going, and Josh Allen was able to find his tight end Knox for a 24-yard touchdown, which put the Bills up 7-0. That actually, sent us into the half. We got the ball back, but we went into the half with it. And then we came out in the third quarter. We were able to get some things rolling. We were driving on 3rd and 12. We saw Mike White hit Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson went for 13 yards, and he got out of bounds. But as he's getting out of bounds, he gets smacked. As he's out of bounds, he gets smacked by a Bills defender. No call. Mind-blowing. But this has been something that's been going on with Garrett Wilson for quite a minute, because we saw it against the Vikings. We saw it against the Patriots. We saw it against various other teams this year where guys are literally grabbing him, holding his jersey, holding the back of his jersey, slinging him around like he's like something crazy, and the refs never call nothing, right? So he gets smacked out of bounds by a Bills defender. No flag on the play whatsoever. Garrett Wilson comes out after the game and talks about how he feels, that this is something that's been continuous and that he doesn't get any calls. And that the referees have told him in the past, when he talks to him, he says, hey, what's going on? This guy's doing A, B, C, and D. I'm not getting any calls. He said a referee told him against the Patriots, this is not Ohio State. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is ridiculous. You see a guy, and we talk about protecting players in this league, especially offensive players, and you see a guy get smacked when he's clearly out of bounds and he gets no call. Like, come on, ref. And the Jets never seem to get calls. Never. We always get screwed by the calls, but we never get the calls ourselves. Something that just keeps on going. We'll be talking about that tonight as well. We actually finished that drive, all right, with Bam Knight running it in for 13 yards. That took the game 7-7. Bam Knight 71 yards on the day with a touchdown. The Bills were also able to get the ball back eventually after, we punted, and the Bills scored on it. Michael Carter with another PI call. That was a critical penalty to extend their drives. You saw, Josh Allen run the football in for 5 yards for a touchdown. Josh Allen was not amazing on this day either. The Jets defense played extremely well. Josh Allen was 16-27, 1 TD, had 147 yards, and he only had 47 yards rushing, and he ran for that touchdown. It's just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Then we're trying to put some things together, man. We get the ball back. We're trying to roll. And let me tell you something. Mike White, as tough as nails, took a shot from Milano that just absolutely chopped him in half on 1st and 10. I didn't think he was going to get up. Milano literally ripped him in half. It was all ribs, and you could see that Mike White was on the ground just writhing in pain. Fant also got hurt on that play as well. Keep in mind, we lost Quentin Williams as well in the game earlier. We thought it was a non-contact football injury. We thought it was an ACL. Turns out it's just a calf injury. So he's day-to-day. Again, he's 50-50 to play against the Lions. Mike White got blasted. The offensive line let up pressure constantly in this football game, and he took a heck of a shot, man. A heck of a shot. He leaves the game. Flacco comes in. He gets sacked and fumbled. Old man Flacco. He needs to go into the retirement home. He needs to go into the retirement home. He looked old and stiff in this game, let me tell you. And we'll be discussing that again because there's a lot of people screaming for Zach Wilson to be the number 2 quarterback, okay, at this point. There's a lot of people. We're going to be talking about that as well. The Bills ended up hitting 2 field goals, which brought the game to 20-7. And now I'm looking at the situation, and I'm like, okay, we're desperate. We got to get back into this game. Jermaine Johnson ends up blocking a punt for a safety, brought the game 9-20. We get the ball back. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay, we can get it rolling. We got it. We got it in our hands. We got it. We get a ball to Michael Carter. He fumbles on 2nd and 2. Bills recover. And I'm right back down again, baby. Look, I love Michael Carter, okay? He was 5. He had 5 carries for 5 yards on the day. 3 catches for 15 yards, not his best, all right? But even, again, earlier, after taking that shot from Milano where we thought that Mike White was done, he checked himself back into the game before that drive too. So Mike White just continues to show you why the guys love him so much, why guys are willing to run through a wall for him. We see it. Even when Dwayne Brown was talking about him after the game, he called him a dog. He said, listen, we got this guy's back, man. He's a dog. We love what he brings. We should have protected him better, which they should have, because the offensive line was horrific. The pressure, all the stuff that they were giving up was ridiculous on the day. But these guys love him. You hear about how Garrett Wilson talks about him and all of that. So down 9-20, the Jets actually were able to put down a drive and get back to the Bills' 9-yard line. And the play calling, particularly in the red zone, has been questionable this year. And I question some of the play calling there. On second, third down, we're going in the shotgun. It's 3rd and 1, and we are in shotgun. 3rd and 1. Not lining up and running the football. We're a power running football team. We don't line it up and run the football. On 3rd and 1, we're going to shotgun. Mike White tries to get a pass. Nothing. We end up kicking a field goal at the Bills' 9. Give us 12-20. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are thinking we shouldn't have done that. Okay, I understand it personally. As the fan in me wants to see us go for it, but I understand why we did that because, again, we get the score. You go back, you get yourself another score, get yourself a 2-point conversion. You in the game, you're ready to go. So I understand that what Sulla mindset was thinking there, but my God, it was 1 yard. I do not understand why we get so cute, why Mike LaFleur gets so cute in the red zone, and we can't get 1 yard. I don't get it, especially, again, after the performance that you've seen from Mike White. You got a quarterback that's willing to put it on the line. Mike White has onions, and he showed you in this game. You've got to do everything you can to get that 1 yard. We got to line up every fat person we got on that line, push forward, and get that 1 yard. We've got to. But we ended up kicking the field goal, 12-20. Then we saw C.J. Mosley make 2 unbelievable plays, a pass breakup from Knox. He also blasted through an offensive lineman and was able to get to Josh Allen and bring him down. So the Bills ended up punting. We got the ball back, and we couldn't get anything going. 45 seconds left, 4 incompletions, and the Jets lose 12-20. That's how the game played out. It's a tough loss. We were right there, man. This Jets defense played phenomenal. Sauce had a pass breakup in this game that was unbelievable. But the penalties and those critical moments where you got to grab victory from the jaws of defeat, we couldn't get it. Mike LaFleur as well in his play calling in the red zone has been spotty. So we're going to get to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. We're talking Jets. We're talking the loss to the Bills. We're talking Michael Carter and the fumbling. We're talking about it all. So we're going to get to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Call in. First caller I'm going to is my guy Ted. Ted, I'm coming directly to you. All other callers, believe me, we'll get to everybody. Be patient. We're probably going to do 1 to 2 questions tonight, and then we got to move on because the lines are so hot. I want to respect everybody in their time. Ted, salutes to you. I want to thank you again for calling in. For those of you that do not know, Ted, that boy's a savage. Savage. Let me tell you something. If you don't know that, you better know. Salutes to you, Ted. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, man, what are your thoughts about this loss to the Bills, and how do you feel about Mike White's performance?
Hey, Joe. Good evening. Mike has been better than we saw. I think he's better than we saw the flashing in the Cincinnati game, but he hasn't got enough help from his receivers and Mike LaFleur and the offensive line. But let me say one thing, Joe, about I had to get this one out if I only get 1 or 2 questions. Braxton Berrios, he muffed a punt.
Yep. Yeah.
He also led a couple of punts deep in our zone where our starting field position was poor. And I'm willing to pay for an eye doctor to come out to check his eyes because one pass hit him right in the face mask in the red zone, I believe.
I don't know.
Went right through his hands into his head.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
yep. And I'm like, dude, is your head, take your head out of Olivia Culpa's lap.
Yeah.
Okay. And you better get yourself, get yourself going, bro, because you're going to be sitting soon.
Yeah.
You can't have that kind of poor performance.
No, I mean, you're speaking facts, Ted. Listen, I love Braxton Berrios, and he did have some catches in this game and made some moves, but I've also been talking about how Elijah Moore needs more plays. And I feel like a lot of these calls that are going to Braxton Berrios should be going to Elijah Moore.
Yes,
they
sir.
should. These ending arounds that we're calling for Berrios,
Yes,
these screens that we're calling for Berrios. I mean, the special team stuff, and I was going to really get to that with the callers, like you said as well. That ball that he almost touched that fell over his head again, that was deep in our, and that was a ball that got us pinned deep and stuff like that. He's got to clean that up. This guy's supposed to be an all-pro kick returner. Our special teams are supposed to be put together. You get against the Bills, and that is not the time to do that stuff. You know, you're muffing punts or you're causing issues against the Bills. Those turnovers will get us destroyed. Now, I want to talk to I'll talk to you about the defense as well, because there was guys that made plays. What were your thoughts about the play of Quinnen Williams before he went down? How did you feel about his impact so far this season? 11 sacks. He leads interior defensive linemen in sacks this season. How are you feeling about his impact and his impact against the Bills?
Well, I knew with the additional talent around Quinnen that he would get double-digit sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably could have had 4 or 5 against the Bills, quite honestly, if he didn't get hurt.
Yep.
He's just a wrecking ball. I mean, he just takes these offensive linemen and puts them, backs them up, backpedals them. He's been phenomenal, Quinnen. I mean, they got to sign him right. I mean, let's put the contract out and sign him right away.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
No. Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, I
he
hear you.
deserves it. And he's been a great teammate.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's been unbelievable. And again, I'm so thankful that injury was not as bad as we all initially thought it was. I was thinking torn ACL. I think we all, so it's just a calf injury, and we'll see again what happens going forward with him. Because again, he's day to day. We'll see if he's able to play against the Lions. I do not want him brought back before he's fully healthy, but we'll see what happens going forward with him. But he's been dominant this year. So my final question before I let you go. What are your expectations for Mike White? If he can go, again, from everything that we're hearing, he's going to be able to go against the Lions. What are your expectations for him in the upcoming game against the Lions?
Joe, couple quick things. I'll make this quick. Mac Jones against the Vikings. He looked like Joe Montana. Okay, we go in there. We don't throw the ball. We're conservative. Okay. Tony Romo said on the broadcast against Buffalo, Buffalo's in shell coverage. It means they're literally 8 in a box. Max protects your quarterback. Send out 3 wide receivers. Get them out of that coverage. You have to force them to get out of that coverage to then run your offense. You can't be so conservative. And now we can't run with this line. We can hardly pass because they know what we're doing, and they crowd on the box. It's an ineffective offense right now.
Yeah.
You have. I mean, even somebody who's watched football barely for 5 minutes, you figure out, send Mims and more on a couple of burners and try to loosen up the defense. But I think Detroit on the road is not as good, and our defense is stacked. So I have a high level of confidence.
Okay.
They'd have to really execute at a high level to beat us.
Okay.
As long as we're healthy.
Give me your final score prediction. Jets Bills. Jets Lions. Excuse me. Give me your final score prediction. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think it ends up?
At least hopefully this week. I don't know if we can hold them down the whole game, but we did hold Kirk Cousins down and that other wide receiver from the Vikings, I forgot.
Justin Jefferson.
I would say, yes. Thanks, Joe. 24-13 Jets.
Okay.
I think we can slow them down.
All right,
we can slow the Vikings down.
Listen, Ted, I got to slide off. There's callers. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right? You have yourself a good one.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in, all right? Wherever you're watching me from, please give the stream a thumbs up. Also, share the stream again with your friends and your family across your social media. And also, you can give to the platform as well. Super Chat's there. Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. Anything you give is greatly appreciated. Again, we're going to get back to these lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers next I'm going to my guy, Jake. Jake, I'm coming directly to you. All the callers, please hold on. We're getting to everybody. Salutes to you, Jake. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, Jake, Mike White goes out and he plays with guts and grit and gets blasted, gets back up, gets back into the game. Give me your thoughts about Mike White's performance against the Bills.
I guess we'll start with the famous song by Chumbawamba, I get knocked down, I get up again. I mean, that's basically the theme of his game. He really just got resurrected from the dead and came back and he's a trooper. I mean, look, if you can't love what you watched this weekend, you know what's amazing? Like, last weekend's loss against the Vikings, that one stung. Like, that one really, really stung. Like, I had a hard time sleeping that night. I realized, like, how close we were. This game I got over very fast because the reality is that, guys, 2 games against Josh Allen, we have held him.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the score seems different, but the reality is that you weren't going to hold Josh Allen to, like, under 10 points in that game.
Yeah.
Home in Buffalo against the snow, they held their own. This, like, everybody said in the post-game shows, everybody said, this is a team that the Buffalo Bills do not want to see in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because they know it's not going to go well. So, you know the Jets are gaining their respect around the league. Even through these losses. If Zach Wilson had played this game, it would have been literally like the clown show music going on all over the place. It would have been a disaster, throwing left and right. He would have had no idea. Now, let's be honest here, because I'm not going to make it. I can't every week make excuses for Mike White's play, but let's be honest. Joe Flacco's fumble and Michael Carter's fumble and the penalties, that's what lost us the game.
Yeah.
It was not Mike White didn't play well. It wasn't because the defense didn't hold their role. It was mistakes and penalties, and you have 2 turnovers, you're going to lose.
Yeah. Now
So
when you talk about
yeah.
Now you're talking about mistakes and penalties, and I know all that stuff really attribute to our loss there. I know you got a lot going on in your background. I'll just mute you really quickly. I know you're talking about the mistakes and loss, or the mistakes that actually lost us the game. I think one of the biggest mistakes in this football game was C.J. Mosley's encroachment call. And I know a lot of people love C.J. I do as well. I think he's phenomenal. But let me tell you something. That's something I just don't think you can do as a veteran player here, especially, again, when the Bills are dealing with all those situations, or especially when the Bills, again, we're going to punt and give us the ball back, and we're dealing with trying to get back into this football game. Now, Jake, quickly, give me your thoughts on that encroachment call and what you thought when you saw it happen initially.
Sorry, Joe, can you repeat the question again?
Can you give me your thoughts on the C.J. Mosley encroachment call and what you thought when you initially saw it?
It sucks. So I'm not going to scorn him for it forever. I mean, it was a bad play. Look, it's bad weather, man. It was going to be hard to play in these conditions. I mean, I know that's something everyone wants to keep talking about. I really got over it fairly fast.
Okay.
It's the Joe Flacco fumble I was just infuriated with. That just showed me how much he just does not care about being there anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't play anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Not again to the Zach Wilson debates, but still.
Yeah. So before I let you go, Jay, give me your final score prediction. Jets, Lions. We got this game coming up. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up?
I think the Jets are going to win 24-14. I'm not afraid of Jared. I'm not afraid of any of these. I'm not afraid of any of these offenses, really. I'm not even if we get that. If we are in the situation right now that we get Tua on Sunday night flex for that Week 18 game, Geno Smith, I'm not afraid of any of these 4 quarterbacks. And I'll tell you right now, everybody, guys, that if you look at the schedules, the Patriot win last night shouldn't scare anybody. Why? Because their schedule and the Miami Dolphins schedules are brutally bad.
Yeah.
Brutally bad. The Jets and the Chargers, I think, have a better chance of making it. So that's hence my confidence right now. So I'll leave it at that.
Listen, Jake, thank you for calling in. Salutes on the score predictions. Again, I want to thank Jake for calling in. We're going to keep getting to these lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy, Jason. Jason, we're coming directly to you. Salutes to you, Jason. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Jason, Michael Carter had a tough fumble in this game, all right? I want you to give me your thoughts on that fumble and what you thought initially when you saw it happen? Jason? Coming to Jason.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep getting to these lines in. Again, we're going to keep on rolling. Next, I'm going to my guy, Phenom. Phenom, I'm coming directly to you. Salutes to you, Phenom. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, Phenom, Mike White played extremely gutsy in this football game. We saw a tough fumble for Michael Carter as well cost us. It was kind of a backbreaker. Give me your thoughts about Michael Carter and his play, man.
Good evening, Joe.
Salutes.
Michael Carter was making an effort to make a play, and it wasn't a lack of effort. It was a good defensive play. I mean, I'm not going to shoot Michael Carter in the foot because his effort has been solid all season. He's been a part of this offense that has worked. When Breece Hall was in the lineup, he was the number 2 guy, the third down back, and played his role. He's had to morph into getting the ball a little bit more, but he's played pretty solid this season. So I can't kill Michael Carter, or I can't really kill C.J. Mosley either. I mean, because just like the NBA, this is a miss or make league. If he had made the play behind the line of scrimmage, all our narrative would have been different. It wasn't lack of effort. It was just a little timing, just a little bit off. It was just a little bit off from being a great play. It definitely affected us.
Was it really off, though, Phenom? The Bills were not going to snap that ball, though. The Bills were not going to snap that ball.
Okay.
In my opinion, the Bills were not going to snap that ball. It was clear as day. They're trying to draw us off sides. That's the end of this. To me, in the discussion, the Bills are trying to draw us off sides, and everybody knew it. They were going to play.
Okay.
Their offense, in my opinion, was struggling. Again, our defense was playing well, the same way that our offense was trying to figure out a way to get downfield as well against them. I just look at that and say, you just can't get baited, especially in that situation, because after that encroachment call, they get the first down, and then it ends up with points. So that was like a pivotal play in that game. You know, Phenom?
No, I hear you, Joe. It's a legit take.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legit take. But again, this team has been battling all season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it hasn't been a smooth flight. There's been turbulence on this flight.
Yeah.
We've had some thrill of victory. We've had the agony of defeat.
Yep.
I was in Minnesota a couple of weeks ago, and they were balling, man. The narrative would have been all changed if Braxton Berrios would have caught that ball in the end zone. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of bad weeks. Do we just shit can him? I don't think.
Whoa!
That's
Watch your language. Do not curse on my show. Don't curse on my show.
Apologize,
Okay.
Joe.
It's a family show. Just don't curse on my show.
Family show. Trash can.
Yeah, trash can. There you go.
Trash can. So we're it's playoff football for the rest of the season for us.
Mm-hmm.
We have to win to get in. We still have season left. If I would have told you in August that we would be playing meaningful games in December, you would have signed up. Most Jets fans would have signed up.
Yep.
I signed up. We all signed up. I would have signed up. So we got what we want, and now we see if our team can do it.
Oh.
Mike White, no question, he's been gutsy and played inspiring ball. We have to support him. And that's been a little challenging. But we have some games we can win. Minnesota was tough. Buffalo's tough. Mm-hmm. And now we have Detroit. Yeah. Now we have to see what we can do in these next 4 games.
So while you're talking about
Absolutely.
that, and I love what you're talking about with Mike White and, you know, the way that he's kind of been able to handle business. Now, one of the issues that I've had with this New York Jets offense and its performance is its issues in the red zone. And we could talk about a lot of different things, but a lot of it goes back to our usage, our package of personnel, us not effectively utilizing our tight end position in the red zone, which we all thought was going to be a big part of the offense, and the play calling. What are your thoughts about what seems to be the struggles of Mike LaFleur when it gets into the red zone? I mean, even in this game, on 3rd and 1, late in the game, we're trying to get a drive and we go shotgun. We're not lining up and running the football like it's supposed to be with our identity. What are your thoughts about that, man?
I would have to agree with the play calling has been on the goal line in the red zone has been mysterious at best.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like he was trying to find some things in the Minnesota game. I think they ran Bam Knight a couple times on the goal line and then tried to get cute with with throwing passes. I would like to see the tight ends being utilized more on the goal line.
Yep.
And if you're going to throw the ball, you got to throw it to you got to try to throw the ball to Elijah Moore, taking nothing away from Braxton Berrios because he arguably has the best hands on the team, or one of the guys has one of the best hands on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's past. That's past. The Detroit game is coming, and it's going to be a battle, and we'll all be tuning in to see what happens. And here we go. Here we go.
So before I let you
signed up for meaningful games in December, we got what we got.
That's a fact. Now, before I let you go, Phenom, give me your thoughts on the matchup with the Jets and the Lions. What are your expectations for Mike White in this upcoming game?
Oh boy, what's today? Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday.
I would have to get a little bit more information. Like, what's the status of Q? What's the status of Q? What's the status of Mike White?
Mm-hmm.
What's the status of our running game? What's Michael Carter going to look like?
At this point, what they're saying is Mike White looking like he's good to go and he's okay, and he's going to be playing in this upcoming game against the Lions. Now, I know that Q, again, is kind of 50-50, so we'll see what happens again going with that calf. But even with Q out, you still got Sheldon Rankins. We still got a solid line. You still got Carl Lawson. You still got Jermaine Johnson. You still got Huff. You still got guys out there that can put things together. So, even if Q can't roll, we still got to go forward. We still got to fight and play. And again, this Lions offense can put some things together. They're near the top of the league in passing and rushing. So it's a formidable matchup. So with all that said, man, what is your final score prediction for this Jets-Lions game? Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up? You better not duck the score prediction. Don't duck it, Phenom. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Phenom, are you going to duck it?
I will do no, I'm not ducking. Not ducking. Don't duck it. I'm not scared.
Okay, don't be scared.
So, 24-21 Jets.
Okay.
It's a squeaker, man. It's a squeaker.
Give me last words quickly.
Happy holidays to you and the Savages and the family, and let's go Jets.
Salutes. Happy holidays to you as well. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Val. Val, I'm coming directly to you. Val, salutes to you, my friend. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that do not know, Val, that boy Val is a savage, you heard? I'm talking straight savage. Savage! Listen, Val, let it be known. Listen, Val, salutes to you again. I want to thank you for calling in. Val, listen.
No problem.
Bills beat us 20-12. Tough game. Mike White going out there showing a lot of grit, showing a lot of moxie. Give me your thoughts on his performance in this football game, man. What do you grade him? If you're using a letter grade, do you give him an A? Do you give him a B? Do you give him a C? What do you grade him for the game, man?
I give him a B-, and he definitely showed a lot of toughness, Joe. Especially, he looked like he just got Goldberg spirit out there. He just came back, and showed toughness and was definitely poised and was moving the ball around as much as he could. And, just a lot of people was kind of failing him at the same time, but he showed a lot of grit, and he showed that he could definitely play in this league. And do I see him as a franchise quarterback? That's we got to see a lot more. You know what I'm saying? And we got to put up more points. But other than that, he played a very poised game.
Okay. No, listen, I hear you now. I look at the New York Jets and I look at this running game and I feel like it could be better. We've struggled a little bit rushing, at spots this season. And Bam Knight has come in. He looked solid, 17 carries, 71 yards, had a touchdown as well. Michael Carter, 5 carries, 5 yards, back-breaking fumble, 3 catches for 15 yards. What are your thoughts about Michael Carter's performance in this game, man?
I mean, he's just coming off of a sprained ankle, but that is no excuse. He has to come in and be ready. He knows what type of game this was. This was definitely a very tough game. This was going to be a divisional game. We got to treat every game like the playoffs, and you have to come with it. If you want to make it to the playoffs, you have to come with it and do not turn over the ball because that is costly, and the momentum has switched because we just got the ball back and we was and Mike White just came back and he was making that run to actually score a touchdown. I feel like we was going to score on that drive, but, I feel like Bam is actually, listen, as a walk-on, he's actually playing really good. He looked like he could be a starter on a team, but I'm glad he's on this team to help us out. So, he could either be that number 2 or number 3 for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, again, this guy's such a fresh set of legs, and I mean, he's been able to come in and really have an impact. Again, we talked about him in the offseason. We were surprised that he actually went to the practice squad because everybody was kind of like, hey, he should be on the active roster because of what we saw him doing out there. But again, we stashed him in the practice squad, and even after bringing in James Robinson, dude, he's still getting snapped. James Robinson was a healthy inactive in the last game, and that's not the first time he's been a healthy and active in this season. So Bam Knight's putting in work, but Michael Carter's got to rebound and kind of step up. Now, going to the defensive side, man, give me your thoughts on the C.J. Mosley encroachment, man. How did you feel watching him get that flag to continue the Bills' drive on 4th and 1, man? I know.
And it sucks because I love C.J. Mosley. Yeah. He has done nothing wrong until that play. Ever since he's been here, he has done nothing wrong besides, the whole, COVID situation. But other than that, but that was a optional situation. But he has to be smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? That is his one mistake. The veteran today, I mean, that game, I feel like the veterans did not step up. We're going to get on Joe Flacco real quick. But, the veterans have not stepped up.
Yeah.
But C.J. Mosley cannot do that. He has to know situational football.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he does. And like you said, Joe Flacco, he had some bad plays as well. That fumble, he looked old and stiff. There's a lot of people screaming for Zach Wilson to be named the number 2 quarterback. That's going to be my final question before I let you go. What are your thoughts about that? Should Zach Wilson be suited up and be the New York Jets' number 2 quarterback?
I believe he should be the number 2 quarterback. I think, if he goes out there, I think he's capable of being the number 2. I question him being the starter, but I'm not going to say he should be inactive. He should definitely be that number 2, and we should just dress him because, we can't be coming – we got to make the playoffs. Every game is very important. We have to put out the best product possible, and I feel like Zach Wilson should be that number 2 or Chris. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna roll with Zach Wilson as the number 2 for sure.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Now, before I let you go, man, give me your thoughts about this upcoming game, Jets-Lions. What is your final score prediction? Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up?
Man, listen, I'm hoping the Jets could pull this out. They are very, very hot right now. Listen, I hear people saying, not throw any shots, but, they're saying that, they're nothing. You know what I'm saying? We're not worried about none of these quarters. We cannot sleep on nobody unless we're putting up points.
Facts.
We should be scoring 30 or more.
Yep.
Until then, I got the Jets winning 24-17. Jets winning.
24-17. Let's go. Listen, Val, I got a lot of callers. I got to slide off. You have yourself a good one, my friend.
Yes, sir. You too, man. And Joe Flacco, don't ever do that again.
You have a good one, Val. Listen, we're going to get back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Chris. Chris, I'm coming directly to you. All right, Chris. Listen, Chris, salutes, man. Again, I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Chris, give me your thoughts about this Jets loss to the Bills, man. What are your thoughts about the performance of Mike White?
I'm glad you mentioned Mike White, Joe, and thank you for having me, because that's the one guy I really want to talk about for tonight, because those 2 hits that he got really concerned me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, after getting hit the second time, I feel like it was not a good idea to put him back out there. Listen, I know he plays tough. He already proved that he belongs. We all know that he belongs. He already proved it. But sometimes it's okay to save a player from himself. Let him play. Okay. Save him from himself and let him play for another day. You know,
okay.
If he goes back out there, Joe, and I'm telling you, and he plays against the line, and the offensive line don't protect him, and they wipe them out, his career is over. An example, look what happened to Andrew Luck. All those concussions he took, and the offensive line didn't protect him. He's showing his career.
Yeah, listen.
I don't want that for Mike White.
And I hear you, Chris. You know? I hear you, and I understand where you're coming from. And again, I want to thank you for calling in, and I get it. All right, but those are 2 different kind of scenarios. Again, those are concussions for Andrew Luck, and a lot of other injuries as well that costed him. Now, I get it. You want to save a player for himself. But at the same time, if Mike White wants to go out there and he feels like he can go out there and play well, and he was still playing well even though his ribs are getting crushed, the issue is the New York Jets offensive line couldn't block anybody. I'm very sure the staff and everything is comfortable.
We've
seen guys
about.
get sat out before, you know, that wanted to get back in. But, you know, if Mike White wants to go out there and play to the rails and give it his shot, you know, it's tough. But I understand your take, because there was a point when I saw that shot too, I was like, I don't know. If the initial shot, initially the first one that he got from the Bills defender before Milano,
he got hit
I was
hard,
like,
though.
man, yeah, he did. He got blasted on that one. So I hear your take there, Jason. I absolutely hear it now. Go ahead. I'll let you finish up.
He almost got broken in half.
Yeah.
You know, and then the way he was slowly getting up, and he was barely breathing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in a lot of
pain. Exactly. I know he wants to play. I give him credit, kudos to him, but you gotta think about those ribs, because if let's say that the Lions defense attack him again and they take his ribs out, it's over.
No.
He's finished. And if we really want him to take us to the playoffs, if we make it, the best thing to do is to have him heal those ribs. And before we get him back out there, I don't want him to get wiped out like that.
No,
I don't.
I hear you.
I
hear you. Listen, I hear you, Jason. But
I mean,
again, our line.
He's not Superman, you know.
No, I hear you. But you know, again, Jason, this is football. This is a guy's got to go out there and play. He checks himself back in. He's showing you the grits, the guts, the moxie. You know, they decided to ride with it, and he did play well. Even though his ribs are jacked up, you could see, like you said as well, that he was hurting, but he went out there and handled business. Now, my next question as we continue to move forward, give me your thoughts on Quinnen Williams, man. How are you feeling about him and his play? We saw him get hurt in this game as well. We'll see if he was going to be able to go against the Lions. What are your thoughts about his impact this season?
Honestly, I thought that was Quincy that got hurt. I wasn't sure which William brother it was.
Quinnen.
I don't know who's in one number.
Yeah, it was Quinnen.
Oh, it was Quinnen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty bad. I mean, if it's a 50-50, I doubt that they're going to put him out there again. They'll probably send him out for the Lions game and then bring him back for the Jags game. But it looked pretty bad from what I saw. So.
Yeah, it was a non-contact football injury, but again, now it's a calf injury. We thought it was an ACL, but it's a calf. So we'll see how he heals up. But again, he's day-to-day, so we'll see how he handles things. So before I let you go, Chris, giving your final score prediction.
Joe, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, quickly.
I got a quick question for you before I give you the answer. Before I'll give you my answer.
Mm-hmm.
So you said it was Quinnen that got hurt, right? Not Quincy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure which brother it was. Because they both got Williams in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Quinnen.
Okay, so
it was Quinnen.
My final.
Yeah, so give me your final score prediction.
Quinnen. Okay.
Jets, Lions. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up?
I'm worried about the offensive line. After what happened last game, I don't trust the offensive line at all. I'm worried Mike White is going to get wiped out again. So unfortunately, It will be a close game and an extremely close. It will end in a field goal, but it's going to be by a field goal. So my prediction, unfortunately, because again I don't trust the offensive line, it'll be 21-20 Lions.
Ooh, okay, 21-20 Lions. All right, Chris. I
Have a good night, Joe.
Listen,
Thank
I
you.
gotta let you slide off, man. Thank you again, Chris, for calling in. He took the Lions. I respect his take about Mike White. You don't want to see your quarterback take those type of shots, but it's the NFL. You know, guys get hit, and if they want to check themselves back in and they're good enough to play with it, you know that this is a big boy league. Listen, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, David. David, I'm coming directly to you, Maxwell, Jason, Steve, everybody, BK, Perry, Brick City. I'll get to y'all other callers. We're getting to everybody in a second. Be patient. Salutes to you, David. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, Mike White goes out there and plays against the Bills, getting jacked up, hit constantly. What were your thoughts about his performance in this game against the Bills? What are your assessment of Mike White and everything that he showed in this game?
Well, good evening, Joe. You're doing a good job asking the right questions. I think what you're looking into is the situations that we got to deal with as a team. Michael White, I thought, played okay. My concern was, like your last caller, he's taking too many direct hits, so they got to work with his footwork, learn to slide, learn to sense that better, and do a little Zach, get on the move, run a little bit. There was some first downs that we left on the field that he could have got with his feet, so I'd like to see more of that. I was impressed with his courage. I think it was good overall for the morale of the team. But my concern that I notice is we're too apprehensive in the when we get near the red zone.
Yeah.
We do good from the 30 to 30.
Yeah.
We get we start on the 30, we'll get to the other 30, and then we shut down. I think LaFleur, I think the Jets, what they need to do is, even if they got to watch other successful teams, and humble themselves as a coaching staff and say, okay, what are the other teams doing to get TDs, because what we're doing isn't working. And then they need to, once they make that decision to alter some of their play calls, they need to believe in their staff and call the play and expect them to do it, and don't compensate with fear and get to restrict what the players can do. Design the play, design it for success, and follow through with it. If you have to check down, fine. I'm speaking, of course, from a throwing standpoint.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more confidence. I think they lack confidence, Joe, when they get near. They just don't finish well, which is killing us and putting too much pressure on our defense. And then you got Mosley pulling that act. Why? Why did he do that? I think he did it because he's thinking, we got to make a play. We got to make a play. We need something to turn the momentum, because the last two games, I really wanted this game bad, Joe. The last two games, I'm feeling like we're playing from behind. We're lacking confidence. We're playing hard. We're playing tough, but we're not playing like we're the better team, and we're going to win this thing. We're going to figure out a way. And if you watch teams that win, this is the Bills, other teams, they play like they're going to win the game. And they don't play from behind. They don't play like, what do we got to do to kind of fix where the momentum is shifting. So I'd like to see our team be confident against Detroit. They got a high-powered offense. We're not beating this team, Joe, if we don't put up 30 points.
Yeah.
Because Detroit's going to come and they're going to throw.
Yeah.
And our defense is vulnerable to giving up some points, because you know what? We went down and scored, and then what? 6 plays later, the Bills put a TD up. We're down 14-7. So we got to have confidence in our confidence in Michael. Zach needs to be number 2.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe, for your service. Joe Flacco. I'd say thank you, Joe Flacco. We appreciate you. You can ride the rest of the year on the bench, but Zach needs to be number 2. He's younger, he's faster, he has potential. Let's stop playing games with the quarterback.
Yeah.
Ride Michael White. They got to get tough. They got to get hungry on. Joe, we need some scores.
Listen, David. I hear you. And I hear you. And you're bringing some great takes. I think one of the biggest issues is, and maybe this is factoring into LaFleur's play calling, is the offensive line and how bad it is. Right? Again, we've suffered a lot of injuries, so that's been a lot of the issues that we've had. But at the same time, hey, guess what? Guys got to go out there and block. And Dwayne Brown talking, even he said it himself, we got to protect him better. Fant was out there before Fant went down. We'll see what happens going forward with him as well with his injury. That could be another shakeup along the offensive line. Again, we've had Max Mitchell go down. He's done for the season. Cedric Oboye is done for the season. There's so many guys. That tackle position is really in flux. We lost ATV and all that stuff. But I'm wondering if that's factoring. But like you said as well, we're getting to the red zone and we're not finishing. And if we're going to be a top-tier team in this league, which is what we want to be, you look at the top-tier teams, they get in that red zone and they finish. Point blank, period. They get into the end zone, and we got to do that. We cannot beat teams kicking field goals. So my next question for you, David, because you're bringing the heat right now. When you look at this upcoming game against the Lions, we're talking about, Mike White and what we think he can do. He's going to be able to play. What is your expectations of him and his performance in this upcoming game against the Lions? What do you expect him to do?
Well, I expect a lot, Joe, because I think he's produced a lot. He's had tough circumstances, but he's shown that he has strength, character, courage, and all that's been said and duly noted. But here's the thing. I go back to my last point. The coaches need to coach their players this week. Listen, we believe in you. No excuses. I don't want to hear about, we're missing this dude or this guy's out or this injury. No. Everybody that puts that uniform on, you get out there and we expect you to be the best player in the NFL today. Every one of you. We believe in you. And execute the plays like you can do this. As they're designed on the chalkboard, they always design them for success. So I would tell my guys, listen, we believe in you. We're not holding you back. You just let it go, man. No fear, no holding back, no safeties, because that kind of safety calls, because that kind of thinking, Detroit's going to sneak up on you and they're going to blow right by you, because those guys throw it. I watched that team.
They do.
They take risks. They're bold. Their quarterback is bold.
Yep.
He's not the most stable guy, but he will make the big play. We need to free up our receivers, man. Go throw the 40, 50-yarder. Put a little concern in them. They start coming in on the box. I would coach my guys, Joe. I believe in you, and Salah does as well, by the way. But I would say I believe in you. Go out and execute. I want the best. You guys can do this. Execute those plays to the fullest.
Absolutely, David. Now, before I let you go, quickly, give me your final score prediction. Jets, Lions. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up?
Well, here it is. Now I'm just going to hope that my hype and my little speech there is real, and the Jets do this. If they think like that and they can perform like that, they will win. But they will win with high scores. Detroit's putting up 30.
Yeah.
I think if we win this, and I'm going to say we're going to win. I've been 0 for 2 in my last calls now. But I think we're winning this thing big, high score, 37-30.
Oh, 37. Okay.
Lots of score.
Listen, David, I want to thank you for calling in. I got to slide off. You have yourself a good night, all right? All right. Listen, David calling in with some takes. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Again, be patient. We will get to everybody. Next, I'm going to my guy, Steve. Steve, I'm coming directly to you, man. Steve salutes. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Steve, Jets coming off of a tough loss to the Bills. Mike White playing to the wall. I'm talking getting hit, coming back in. Nobody can stop him. He's the robot. Like, what exactly were your thoughts about Mike White and his performance in this game against the Buffalo Bills and the grit and moxie and toughness that he showed?
Hey, Joe. Well, thank you again for having me on your show tonight. Let me tell you something. It was unfortunately another tough loss we suffered. I mean, this is the first time this season that the Jets have lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Mike White was a soldier in that game. He was doing everything he could to get back in the game. And, yes, they did put him back in the game. And I like how he said yesterday in his press conference that they needed to peel me off the field.
Yeah.
If they wanted me to get back out there. But, you know something, Joe? I'm going to say this right now. I'm not fully mad at the team of losing this game, because the thing is, unfortunately, we went into a hostile environment in Buffalo, and Buffalo's always a hostile environment.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is about facing the Bills in Buffalo, it's always very tough. But there were some crucial things I just want to talk about with the game. One thing you mentioned, the C.J. Mosley encroachment.
Yep.
He's the veteran leader of the team. I mean, he tried to pull a Troy Polamalu moment, but the thing was unfortunate. Josh Allen caught him on the count snap. Another thing was because that unfortunately led to a touchdown. The thing I don't understand, Joe, were the referees in this game.
Yeah.
When Garrett Wilson caught that pass in the opening drive, which led to a touchdown for us, Garrett Wilson catches it, gets the first down, steps out of bounds, a Bills player hits him in the helmet.
Yeah.
How is that not a personal foul?
I don't get it.
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Let me tell you something, Joe. The NFL, I said this on Twitter Sunday night, the NFL league is a joke. They honestly don't understand about, like, roughness in players. And the thing is like, it's like you can't even, like, freaking tackle a quarterback anymore. I mean, a lot of people felt that, like, why Matt Milano should have not gotten penalized when he did hit Mike White hard. I mean, listen, yes, it was a hard hit that Milano did put on Mike White, but it was a clean hit.
Yeah, it was a legal hit. It was very legal, like you said as well, Stephen. Again, we've heard from Garrett Wilson, after the game. He talked about how referees told him this has been going on throughout the season where he feel like he's not getting the call when it's egregious, and he had a referee tell him against the Patriots, this is not Ohio State anymore. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, you don't have to talk to somebody like that, number one. And number two, we all seeing the same things on a weekly basis. You go back to that Vikings game, we saw him getting grabbed and jerked around like crazy, against these Vikings defenders that were just trying to stop him from running his routes. This is an offensively driven league. Everyone screams about protecting offensive players, and you're letting Garrett Wilson get thrown around like that, but the New York Jets are constantly getting ticky-tack calls. I mean, that's just completely egregious and ridiculous, man. It sucks. It sucks. So listen, Steve.
Yeah, no, it does, Joe.
Yeah. Now listen,
Joe,
I want to talk to you a little bit about
like I'm just gonna say this really quickly,
go
Joe.
ahead, quickly.
I'm just gonna say this really quickly because I was watching the Sunday night game between the Chargers and the Dolphins, and let me tell you something. As much as I hate the Dolphins, there was actually one thing I did feel bad for them during the game. It was in the second half, and one of the players of the Dolphins tackled Justin Herbert for a sack. It was a regular, normal tackle.
Yeah.
And you know what the referee did? They called that Dolphins player for roughing the passer.
That's a fact.
I said this to myself. How is that roughing the passer? All he did was tackle him.
Yeah.
How?
It's mind-blowing, Steve.
I honestly don't understand this stupid league anymore, Joe. I really don't understand. The league is a joke. Roger Goodell is a joke. The NFL executive office is a joke.
Now, Steve, before I let you go, man, because we got a lot of callers, give me your final score prediction for the New York Jets' upcoming game against the Lions. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up? Quickly.
Well, here's the thing, Joe. I'll actually be at the game this Sunday.
Okay, salutes.
Yeah. No, listen. I think the Lions are definitely going to give us a good game. But the thing is, though, I do think the Jets are going to beat the Lions on Sunday, though.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give the Jets a 24-14 win.
Okay, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Again, salutes to Steve calling in. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy in Jersey, man. 973. We're coming directly to you. All the rest of the callers, please hold. Again, we're getting to everybody. Salutes to you, my friend. I want to get your thoughts about Mike White and his performance against the Bills. How'd you feel about it?
Thanks, Joe. Well, listen, we had two tough opponents before. First we had Minnesota. They hang in there pretty well. I mean, that was a hard-fought game, but that Minnesota offense was just, I think, a little bit too strong for us. And Buffalo, I really thought without their star player, I thought maybe we would have a shot to win. It was a much more defensive game, which I thought it was going to be. But Buffalo's defense just seemed to be just a little bit stronger.
Yeah,
so we had two tough games we had to play. Now we have to get ready for the last few games of the season. I think Detroit's a little bit weaker. Not like we're going to have been in past years. I mean, because in past years they've been in in the toilet seat. But they have stepped up this year. But I think we have enough weapons. Regardless of who's going to be our quarterback, I think we have enough ways to probably beat the Lions.
Okay.
I think we can, no matter who's going to be the quarterback.
Okay. So going into that game, my final question for you: you look at the situation. New York Jets offensive line is struggling. Now the Lions don't have the best defense, but Aiden Hutchinson is over there. How concerned are you about the New York Jets protecting Mike White properly in this upcoming game against the Lions?
Well, they had to protect him because we don't want to see another injury like he did last week. I mean, Flacco was a dinosaur, and we can't count on him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets hurt, that's it. Flacco is going to be a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
Sorry. Zachy boy, he's not ready yet. He's not ready. I mean, I know everybody like to see him as number one quarterback, but that injury, no, I wouldn't think so. And he's been injured before. I don't think it would take a chance of getting a third injury in the same season.
No, listen,
so,
I hear you.
So I got to go with White.
Okay. I mean, again, Mike White to me is a starter. At best, Zach Wilson should at least be named the backup. I personally think Zach Wilson should be named the backup at this point. Just give the guy a chance because, again, Flacco is looking old, stiff, and he's not going to get it done out there. So before I let you go, man, give me your final score prediction. Jets, Lions, who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
I think Jets win. I don't think it's going to be as lopsided as most people, or as close as people think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say 24-14 Jets.
Okay, 24-14
And
Jets.
before
Absolutely. Listen, salutes, and we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Ronald Perry, man. Brick City, my guy from North Carolina, Jason. Max, we'll get to you in a second. My guy, Perry. Listen, for those of you that do not know, okay, my guy, Ronald Perry, he's a savage, man. I'm talking about a savage. Savage. Salutes to you, Ronald. Listen, we're talking Jets, man. Give me your thoughts.
I'm in the building.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Give me your thoughts about Mike White and the grit that he showed, the toughness that he showed against the Bills, man.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, after that game, I have a newfound respect for Mike White because I'm like, I knew he was a good QB, but I didn't know he was built tough like that. He got like like a determination about it like that. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to take those hits and keep coming back. As a matter of fact.
Yeah. I mean, he took his shots, man.
You know what? And I was gonna say, you know what? That I like that the offensive line guy named Dwayne Brown went on TV and was like, he apologized to Mike White. So that's what I like right there. So I know next time he's going to go a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he's going to be protected all the time, but I know Dwayne Brown is going to go a lot harder. The rest of the guys can do what they can to protect him.
Yeah, I thought that Mike White played phenomenally in this game. Again, he took shot after shot. It was 27 of 44, 268 yards throwing the ball. And a lot of people are talking about, there's a lot of Jets fans out there having discussions about, well, Mike White needs to learn how to win. That's the big thing. And look, as long as he puts us in a position to consistently being that win, he's not killing us. He's not throwing massive turnovers. He's not doing stupid stuff with the ball. He's getting the ball out of his hands quickly and finding guys that are open. I'm all about that. So I understand that that's the knock for some people. He hasn't won enough. Listen, this is a team game. You can't call – Mike White's not the one calling the plays. We talk about our red zone play calling. He's not the one committing penalties, which we saw as well. He's not the one – those are outside factors. Mike White's doing his job, and he's doing it well. Again, we had a critical fumble in this game from Michael Carter. That wasn't Mike White. We saw the encroachment penalty from C.J. Mosley. That wasn't Mike White. We saw pass interference call from Michael Carter. He had two of them, I believe, in this game. That wasn't Mike White. So – Mike White is going out there and playing well, especially, again, under pressure, getting smashed and blasted. Now, that leaves me to my next question for you. Give me your thoughts, man, on what we saw from Sauce and Reed against Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. I mean, bro, neither one of those guys had over 40 yards. What are your thoughts about the lockdown that Sauce and Reed was able to put on Diggs and Davis, man?
I want to say that I know, because I do know for a fact that those two guys are top 10 in the NFL, but honestly, I really believe they're top 5 in the NFL. Top 5 cornerbacks. I'm telling you, these guys are just tough. They're built different, man. And he's a rookie, so that's what I'm like. I really appreciate it. You got to appreciate it. Who knows what it's going to look like next year?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, those guys are going to the wall. So my next and final question before I let you go, what are your expectations of Mike White against the Lions, man?
You know, I really, you know, it's my Jets and I want them to win. I really do, but I really don't know. But the Lions been playing really good lately.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, I really don't know what to say right now.
Yeah.
Like I can't. It's like, you know what? I would like for the Jets to win. You know, like 27-17. Because you know what? I don't think they're gonna put up that much points on our defense. We got a great defense, man.
Yeah. So that's
obviously.
That's your score prediction right there, man. He took the Jets. I'll give it to him. Listen, salutes to you, Ronald. I got to slide off. You have yourself a good one. Listen, we're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in, and everybody, again, please be patient. We're getting to everybody. Next, I'm going to my guy, Brick City, man. Brick City, I'm coming directly to you. We are talking Jets. Listen, Brick City, salutes.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you for calling in.
Salute,
you already know what time it is, man. Bills, Jets, we lose 20-12. Mike White just goes out there and shows an extremely gutsy performance. What do you grade Mike White for this game, man? Are you giving him an A? Are you giving him a B? Are you giving him a C? What is your grade for him? What is your letter?
I'm giving him an A+.
Okay, tell us why.
A++. Grit, determination, leadership, and turn the ball over, came back, still put us in a position to win. Even though, you know, Jermaine Johnson, you got to, you know, instead of celebrating, man, on that block punt, you got to get that ball in the end zone. We would have been up. Instead of 9, we would have been up 14. Would have been 14-20. On that 4th and 1, I think that LaFleur once again got a little too conservative. Should have went for it on that 4th and 1, you know, and I think we would have been in a position to get in the red zone and score. We would have been probably talking about a different scenario this time around. And please, God forbid, can these referees stop being so biased? They throw flags on who they want to throw flags to, man.
Talk about it.
It was a clean hit. Don't get me wrong. The first hit was a clean hit, but the second hit, when he got driven into the ground, come on, throw the flag, protect the quarterback. If that was Tom Brady, if that was Mac Jones, if that was anybody else, and, you know, even Matt Ryan now in his career would have got that call. If it was, and you can't be biased on if the rules are the rules, I say the rules. If it's the rules to protect the quarterback, and this is an offensive-driven league, you got to protect off. Even though it sucks, I'm more of a defensive guy, but you know you got to be fair. You just can't pick and choose. If that was Daniel Jones, they would have threw the flag unless they was playing like Philly or Dallas or something like that. But they would have threw the flag on that for that.
No, listen,
that's not right.
And listen, I'm right there with you. And what again egregious call that I saw was the one on that should have been called on for Garrett Wilson. He's out of bounds. A Bills defender just blast him. He gets nothing. He even talked about
that was
after
disgusting.
the game. After the game, I mean, he's like, dude, I get no calls. These referees, they're talking to me crazy during the game, telling me it's not Ohio State. What are your thoughts about Garrett Wilson and his play in this game? What are your thoughts about the lack of calls that we've seen? Garrett Wilson holds the Jets rookie single season receiving record as well. Give me your thoughts on all of that, man.
I got him. I got him again. I mean, at this point, we got 3 games left for the season. I got him like he can get like 1,300 yards.
Wow.
1,300 yards, probably maybe. He had that pace. Cause, I mean, I don't think anybody on the Lions secondary, because I got going on for about 50 Sunday. Is that if I can say the score real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a score prediction. I got us 28-17. It's going to be close up until the second half.
Okay. Thank you.
Man, everybody, because the Lions, the Lions are where we were last year. They're a hungry team. They're a scrappy team. They're definitely a team not to sleep on. But they're not. I mean, we got to handle our business straight out the gate.
Yeah.
We got to handle our business straight out the gate. We cannot play sluggish against these guys. It's the NFL. It's any given Sunday. Heck, the Texans gave the Cowboys work last week. So we cannot play to our competition. We're better than these guys
Listen.
at all three phases of the game: offensive, defensive, and special teams. So it shouldn't be no problem handling business. We got to go to the playoffs. We're fighting for our lives right now. The Jets fans, me, you, hundreds, everybody that's listening, thousands, millions across the country that are Jets fans. We haven't seen the playoffs in like 12, 13 years, man. It's time. This is time. It's time to elevate Zach Wilson to QB2, because I said it 2 weeks ago. I had a funny feeling maybe Zach will play in this game. I don't know if you remember that.
We'll see.
I did say that. I think he'll be back at the Lions game. I hope I didn't jinx Mike White on that for saying that.
Man, I hope not.
But Flacco, sit your old butt down, man. Just sit down, man. What a disgrace for a guy of his caliber. You know, if people come to the Jets and just be straight bums, man. Just sit them down. No more Joe Flacco.
Listen,
put Zach Wilson as QB2.
Brick City, I am right there with you. I'm not saying that Zach Wilson should start or nothing like that. That's Mike White's job. But Zach Wilson should absolutely be the backup.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Flacco is just not getting it done. But listen, Brick, I got to slide off. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right?
Definitely.
All right. You have yourself a good one.
Of course, man. Happy holidays.
Salutes. And again, we're going to continue to get to these lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, I'm going to my guy from North Carolina. Jason, Maxwell, all the other callers. We'll get to you guys in a second. North Carolina, we're coming directly to you. Now, this is a guy that knows what he knows, and he knows these Jets. Salutes to you, my friend. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, give me your thoughts. Jets, Bills, we take a loss here 20-12. I feel like Mike LaFleur is getting a little bit too cute in the red zone. 3rd and 1, we need to run the football, especially late in the game. We don't do it. We ended up kicking a field goal. Give me your thoughts about this game and give me your thoughts about that decision. Do you think the New York Jets should have gone for it on 4th and 1 at the 9 against the Bills?
Yes, absolutely. It comes to a critical time in the game. You have to be aggressive. If you get beat, you get beat.
Yeah.
But the minimum, you got to be aggressive. You got to go for it. And I think that's what they should have done. And I think going forward, Mike White with his old school grittiness and toughness is setting a new standard for what a Jet quarterback should be.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he wasn't a top draft pick, just the way he's performing and handling himself is just going to set a different standard going forward, which is, I think, a good thing for this organization. Because we haven't established that over the years. You know, we had so many embarrassing performances from Mark Sanchez with the butt fumble.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fact.
And you know,
give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on that. I wanted you to kind of expound on that because you're talking about Mike White and the grit and what he brings. When you watch Mike White, right, because you're a guy that knows football, what impresses you about him so much?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think that the guys in the locker room are so endeared to him, and what makes him successful, you know, when he gets out there on the field? Is it his decisiveness? Is it how quickly he gets the ball out of his hands? What did you see against the Bills that really impressed you from Mike White?
I say it's all of the above, and it's just the overall poise. And you can see where he loves the game, and at the same time, he's not timid or afraid to go out there and play the game like Zach has shown, even though Zach has far superior physical talent and ceiling. Mm-hmm. But there's that timidity, that feeling when you watch him play, you know, the running around, that timidity is not running to escape or to buy himself time to make a play. It's just running out of what looked like fear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being afraid of the rush.
Yeah.
And Mike White represents something so different. You know, he doesn't have that same mobility, but he's not afraid to stand in the pocket. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, we were coming up in the 80s. The league was brutal. Quarterbacks actually stood in the pocket and got hurt. And seriously, Joe Theismann with the broken leg. And what was it? Scott Mitchell getting knocked out cold by Wilbur Marsh. Do you remember that hit?
Mm-hmm.
He's laying on the turf. And,
Steve Young getting crushed.
It was just a different world.
And a concussion.
That's right.
Steve Young
and I
just
think
get obliterated. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's right, and I think Mike White is going to make it hard after this year to get rid of him because he's entrenching himself, which is a good thing for us. Because let's be honest, we need to take that quarterback position off the table by the end of this year. We got to do that. We can't go into 2023, and I feel very optimistic and very hopeful about this team going forward to do even greater things. then this year that quarterback position has to be taken off the table. That's why I'm rooting intensely for Mike White. I'm not rooting against Zach.
Okay.
But I'm rooting intensely for Mike White. We need stability. We need maturity. We need toughness. We need grittiness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need more polish and seasoning, somebody who conducts himself in a way that he's been there. He executes. Even though the last couple of weeks we had some red zone issues, hopefully these weeks ahead they can correct that. They're going to have to, because we can't come out of these next couple of matchups against Detroit and against Detroit and Jacksonville.
Yeah, we got those.
We can't come out of some of these matchups in the weeks ahead, selling for field goals. We need to go on and finish drives. And what that comes down to sometimes is maybe a missed block here, an incomplete pass there, a penalty here, a drop pass. Just the little things that leading to them kicking field goals and not being able to finish drives. Hopefully LaFleur and the staff can figure it out. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to. You know
what's really, and I mean, you watch this Bills game and it's glaring. The offensive line has been so just. And I know we got injuries, but this game, their lack of protection was an issue. And not just that, but our lack of push as well. Our running game has been very up and down. That's why Mike White's been throwing so much. You go back to that to the Vikings game, I think he threw over 50 times. This game, he throws 44 times in this game. Again, Knight had 71 yards in this game, but our running game wasn't as much of a factor as we would love it to be. And so that goes to my next question for you is, what are your thoughts about our running game? Why do you think it hasn't been successful? And also, what are your thoughts about the emergence of Bam Knight? I mean, he put up some solid yards in this game, but we also saw Michael Carter kind of not have a great game himself. What are your thoughts about all that stuff?
My compliments again to Joe Douglas. He really has an eye for talent. We really have a GM that knows how to evaluate and knows how to find talent. We're very fortunate he's our general manager, and I think it's going to yield bigger things going beyond this year. Now, overall, with the Jet O-line and running game, what it is the after effect of so many injuries and people missing time, and you know how that is. It could affect your chemistry. It could affect your continuity. We were banking on paper having an offensive line with Becton that's a 5'6" top-rated tackle in the league, and then Vera Tucker, who's just as right on par with Mekhi Becton, is one of the better offensive linemen out there. Now, you lost these two guys, and then George Fant was looking like a solid, stable piece for us going forward. We were talking about his future contract and getting him extended, and then Max Mitchell for a rookie really emerged and really surprised. And you look at all that together. Dwayne Brown, he got injured. It wasn't a shoulder injury, and he could have had surgery, and he chose not to, and he tried to play. So it's all of that together what has got us in this situation. I don't think it's that we have a poor offensive line by default. I just think so many injuries have just decimated us to a point and stressed our depth to the point where, I mean, it's just unfortunately, just a natural conclusion that the offensive line would struggle to some extent. It's unrealistic to expect them to be the line that we originally envisioned on paper. Now, what if, let's say, we had that offensive line intact, maybe a few bumps and bruises, but not any catastrophic injuries that we suffered. We suffered two major catastrophic injuries, losing Becton and Vera Tucker. That's pretty devastating. I don't know how many teams could recover from that.
Yeah.
But somehow we did, and we put ourselves in playoff position. We're still in the hunt.
Yeah, we are.
We're still in it.
We absolutely are.
Everything we've gone through,
Yeah. And give me your thoughts about Garrett Wilson, too. We're seeing this guy, again, he holds the Jets rookie receiving record at this point, 868 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, what are your thoughts about the impact he's had on the season, and also the fact that he doesn't get any calls? I mean, you got refs talking to him crazy too. What are your thoughts about that?
I think I thought about this tonight before I call your program here. The Jets are going to need to put it out there, whether it's the players or coaches. If the officials are going to continue with this nonsense, we're going to take matters into our own hands. And what that means is, if you hit our guys, we're going to hit your guys. If you hurt our guys, well, I promise you, we are going to hurt your guys. You think Buddy Ryan would let this nonsense with these officials go on? No. He put a bounty on you, and he would get you out of there.
Yeah.
Rex, too. Don't let that smile, them big teeth and that smile on Rex fool you now. Rex will put a bounty on your behind, too, and get you out of there now.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to have to happen. I'm like Joe Meningo. I don't trust these officials. They're crooked. They are corrupt, and it's a shame. They are corrupting the game. The game is a wonderful game. It's a brutal game, but it's a wonderful game. I love the game. Ever since I've been 12 years old in 1980, I fell in love with the game, and I fell in love with the Jets. You know, and it's a shame that they're tarnishing this game with this nonsense that they supposedly cleaned it up. But we know that's BS when it comes down to us. I remember, made me think about tonight, Sam Darnold. I remember him, I don't know if it was Denver, but he actually got picked up bodily. The league's supposed to cut that out.
I remember
that. You can't pick a player up bodily and slam them to the ground.
Yeah.
He picked up Darnold. I don't know who did in the world. Picked Darnold up and slammed him on his shoulder.
Yep.
And injured his shoulder.
Yeah. I remember
you know what I'm saying? This nonsense has been going on. The non-calls with us for quite a long time. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm very frustrated. I'm sick and tired of that with these officials. Their behinds need to be called out. I tell you what, if the league don't want to handle it, let's put pressure on Saleh and the players to go handle it yourself. If they want to kick them out of there, kick them out of there. But we're not going to sit up there and let you hurt us. And these officials not making calls. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It shouldn't happen.
Listen,
and Saleh shouldn't let it go. I love Saleh. Sometimes I think he's a little cerebral, a little mild-mannered, because that's just his nature, like Dungy. He don't yell.
Yeah.
He won't go off.
Yeah.
But he needs to say something to them players. We're going to handle it. He need to put it out there into the media. If the officials do not handle this nonsense, we will.
Well,
and it's going to get pretty ugly. So people are going to get hurt, and more than us.
Listen, I hear that. I don't want them to do that because, again, we've seen the NFL smack people for targeting, for all these things.
Our players and slam them on the ground and cut their legs out, and our players getting hurt. And the officials just standing around and not making calls. You got to handle it.
Yeah.
You got to be a man.
I hear you.
Screw the officials now. If they kick them out there, let them kick them out there. I will clap if they knock one of their people on their behind. Let them throw the flag, pick it up, and throw it in their face. I'm sick of this. Sick of this nonsense. And put it out there, too. We got families to feed. They got families to feed. We got to take care of our families, too. The officials ain't going to protect us. If they're going to be one-sided with these calls and not going to be fair to us, we will handle it ourselves.
Okay. Well,
and if we handle it, somebody's going to get hurt.
Give me your final score prediction. Jets, Lions, who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up?
Jets. The Jets are going to win this game. 31-6.
31-6, he said Jets.
The Jets are going to win.
I'll let you finish up quickly. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. They're going to win this game easily. I think over the last couple of weeks, they kind of been stunted, settling for a lot of field goals, red zone scoring issues. I think they're going to bounce back in this contest with a vengeance. Detroit is not going to know what hit them. Even though, yes, they're an ascending team, they're like us, they're rebuilding as well. This is not a good matchup for the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
We're going to handle them fairly easily. I don't think the Jets are going to go out there taking it for granted. I think they know their season's on the line. They're going to try to run the table, and they're going to start with the Detroit Lions. They're going to beat them handily, 31-6.
Okay, 31-6.
I think they're going to scratch out 2 field goals against us, and that is it. We're going to shut them down.
Okay, listen, I got to slide off, my friend. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you.
All right, buddy.
All right. Absolutely.
All right.
Listen, he went off, okay? And I get it. I'm upset as well. He said, well, I'm going to take care of it myself. All right? He ready to go. You know what I'm talking about? Listen.
Here we go.
Got me fired up. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking our callers again. Please be patient. We got to get quickly. We're getting towards the end of the show. I want to hear everybody's takes, though, all right? So you're going to get 1-2 questions, and we're gonna have to move on because that's, our show's packed. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking our callers. Next, we're going to my guy, Jason. Jason, we're coming directly to you. Jason, salutes. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Jason, give me your thoughts about the play of Mike White against the Bills. How did you feel about it? What are your thoughts about the guts and grits that he showed?
Well, it's awesome to see the toughness of this man. Every QB has to have toughness in this league. I heard the other caller, man. He's worried about Mike White. I completely understand that, but we can't sit him at the moment. We're in a playoff now. We have to win all these games. We can't sit players, and it sucks, but this is the time we have to win, and he gives us the best shot to win right now. And it for his being hurt, dude, it sucks, man, dude. I hope this offensive line can get better, but we have to go with him. He's the best chance for us to win.
Yeah, I hear you. You're spitting absolute facts right there. Now, when you go over to the defensive side of the ball in this game, there was some issues. Again, we saw penalties from Carter. We saw a big penalty from C.J. Mosley. Give me your thoughts about those, man. Why do you think the Jets tend to get these critical penalties at critical times?
Well, this game we were just undisciplined. I know some people are going to say there was some unfair calls. I do agree with that, but there's some of the calls that was totally on us. Mosley on that 4th down 1, that was on us. If we didn't do that, they would not have that touchdown.
Yeah.
So I do agree that some of the penalties is unfairly, but the ones that we can't control, we hurt ourselves. We were undisciplined. Yeah. The turnovers. We did the most turnovers. Mm-hmm. To be honest, we were not the better team that day. It sucks to say, but that's how it was. Yeah. The first game we were the better team. This game we weren't.
Okay.
So hopefully we can see in the playoffs and win it.
Yeah. Listen, before I let you go, Jason, give me your final score prediction. Jets, Lions. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
So with this game, potentially, they don't have a good defense, but their offense is they're good at passing. I don't think they traded the tight end, so we don't have to worry about the tight end, I believe, that much, and that's what killed us last game. And then the only receiver we have to worry about is Amon St. Brown.
Okay.
Or Amon whatever his name is. Yeah. And I think he's in the slot, so hopefully Marco II can hopefully shut him down. If we're able to do that, this is going to be a long day for the Lions, and hopefully we can win this. I see us, if everything goes well, 24 to probably 7.
Okay,
Jets.
24. We're going to keep on moving. Again, salutes to Jason for calling in. We're going to get to these lines again quickly with your takes because we're coming short of time and the lines are packed, but we're going to keep on moving. Next, we're going to my guy, Colin. Nico, BK, Max, we'll get to you in a second. Salutes to you, Colin. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Colin, Garrett Wilson has been phenomenal this season. What are your thoughts about him, man?
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Salutes.
Good night, and what's up to the Savages? Yeah, I mean, listen, we knew when we drafted this guy, he was a star, so, not surprising what he's doing, right? So yeah, we have quite a few stars on the team actually. So, and we just happen to find guys that weren't even drafted as well.
Yeah.
Right. So Bam Knight, he's a star right there. The way he's running. So we got the tools, right? We just got to be able to use them better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So. The last game, obviously a lot of penalties, turnovers. You're not going to beat good teams like that.
Yeah.
And, it so happens that we were the one with the penalties and the turnovers more so. And we lost a close game, which we could have won. But, we put that one behind us and move forward because now it's what's ahead, not what's behind. So we need to really come out this week.
Yeah.
And
listen.
the coaches, everyone has to do.
Yeah, like you said as well.
I was going to say, Joe, the coaches has to do a better job because that fourth down, that play where when we kick that field goal instead of going for that 1 yard, I think that's just coaching where Robert Saleh will have to get better at decision making.
Okay.
That when you're that close, you have to go for 7. You either get the first down or you get 7.
Okay.
Kicking a field goal and hoping that you're going to get the ball back with 40-something seconds, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
If Buffalo had only got 1 first down, the game was over. So Robert Saleh, he will get better with coaching. LaFleur will get better with the offensive calling, and the team will get better. But we're in a playoff race right now, and these guys, they got to step up. They got to step it up as well.
No, listen, Colin, you're
for us
bringing
to be
some
successful and beat the Lions.
Yeah, you're bringing some heat right now. So my final question before I let you go, give me your score prediction. Jets, Lions, who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
Well, this is not going to be no cakewalk for either team, in my opinion, because both teams are capable of winning this game. So, the one good thing we have, it's a home game. It's going to be cold, and we have to take advantage of all that and be able to stop this team. So I will go with 17-16 Jets.
17-16 Jets? Okay. Listen, Colin, I want to thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good night. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in again. Please be patient. We'll get to everybody. Time is going short, so I need you to move forward on your takes pretty quickly. So now we're going to go to my guy, Nico. Nico, we're coming to you. BK, Maxwell, other callers. We'll get to you in a second. Nico, salutes. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, give me your thoughts quickly about Mike White and his performance against the Bills. How did you feel about it?
Salutes, my brother, salutes. Listen,
Salute.
This is the game that I wanted to see Mike. This is the game I wanted to see Mike White play. I wanted to see how he handled it. The Minnesota game, he did good. The Bears game, he did good. But this game here really showed me a lot. Not only did he just come out there with the guts and, with the rib issue, he came back out, but he was making some dime throws.
Yep.
I mean, he missed a few, but he was making some dime. I mean, putting it where it belongs. Give this guy credit. He's doing stuff that nobody thought he could do or was going to capable of making those throws. I give Mike White 100% props for coming in that game and just not making the mistakes he did last year. Yeah. Last year, he didn't have these weapons. This year, he got these weapons. So come on, man. Look at the throw. I mean, go back and look at the game. Look at some of those throws.
Yeah.
I mean, he was putting the ball right where it belonged.
Yeah.
Now, could we have gotten that from Zach Wilson if he was in the game? I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Okay.
And, the other thing is, look, we're on the goal line. We're on the goal line, right? Remember back in the day, they used to see the tight end block and fall, and they get up and turn around and go to the end zone and be wide open?
Yeah.
Why are we doing any of these plays? Why aren't they putting the tight end to work on the end zone?
Yeah.
What is with Mike LaFleur? What's going on? I mean, is it his ego? And the other thing is, why is it Elijah Moore in there running those plays?
That Barrios is running, yep.
Why he's not in there running those plays? What that Barrios is running? Why he's not in there?
Yeah.
I'm not understanding. You got all of these tools at your disposal, but you're using the second-hand tool and not the top tool.
Yeah.
So that baffled me. And the one more thing, I know you got other
Go
callers.
ahead, quickly.
One more thing is, what was wrong with Braxton Berrios not catching the ball? The Bills returner was catching the balls. What was wrong with Berrios?
Yeah.
Why was he letting the ball drop and go back an extra 20 yards?
Mind blowing. It was mind blowing. Now, my final question for you, Nico, before I let you go.
Mind blowing ain't the word, man.
Before I let you go, my final
up, Joe?
question. Give me your score prediction. Jets, Lions,
Come on,
quickly.
Joe.
Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? Give me your score.
27-10, Joe.
27-10.
27-10 Jets.
Okay.
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. 27-10.
Listen, Nico, I got to slide off. You have yourself a good one, all right?
I got you, my brother. Take it easy.
Absolutely. We're going to keep getting to these lines. 515-602-9639. Next, we're coming to BK. BK, we're coming directly to you. Max, other callers as well. Well, hold on. We're getting everybody. BK salutes. For those of you that do not know, BK. Savage, man. Savage. Salutes to you, BK. I wanna thank you again for calling it. Turn me. I don't know if you got me on. I can hear myself, so turn that down or turn it off. Listen, Mike White. Mike White played extremely well, man. Give me your thoughts, Mike White. Bills. How are you feeling about it?
He played well, man. He was a stud. You know what I'm saying?
he was able to make some great throws. And again, those cold, frigid conditions. So a lot of respect to Mike White.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, give me your thoughts about the play calling, man. Mike LaFleur, 3rd and 1, late in the game. We're trying to drive down. This dude's in shotgun. We're not running the ball. Then we actually kick a field goal on 4th and 1 instead of going for the score. Do you agree with that call?
So I don't agree with the call. You know, the thing about the play calling sometimes is that they just don't get into their hands that you can run the ball many different ways. You don't have to run out on these different angles and let the defense chase you. You have to attack them inside in the A and the B gap. Or if it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, I don't know why guys don't just take the running back and let them say, hey, listen, jump over the top. Let these linebackers try to out-jump you. Jump over the top. You're going to make it. If not on 3rd down or 4th down, you're probably going to make it. It's basic and fundamental. Robert Saleh, they got to do a better job of saying, listen, run the football. 3rd and 1, short yardage, get the ball to our running back that's actually been productive in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, my final question for you, BK. Garrett Wilson, been phenomenal this season. Has a record, the single-season rookie receiving record already for the New York Jets. It was standing for 26 years, I believe, owned by Keyshawn Johnson. But now Garrett has it with 868 yards quickly. Give me your thoughts about him and the impact he's had this season. What are your expectations of him going into this game against the Lions?
He's going to have another beast game. The dude is a special player, man. His game is he can make all the catches all over the field. He can score anywhere on the field. He plays off the ground. He's an amazing player, and he's stronger than he looks. He is a physical receiver, so there's a lot to look forward to. I'll say down the stretch, he may score a touchdown every game. I don't see why he shouldn't score a touchdown every game.
Okay. So before I let you go, BK, final score prediction. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up?
We're going to win 24. They'll score, I'm going to say, 10 points.
Okay. So 24-10 Jets?
We're gonna be,
24-10 Jets. That's what BK said. Listen, BK, I got to slide off. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
Yes, sir. Respect, man.
All right. Salutes and respect. We'll keep getting to these lines. Max, I'm coming to you next. I'm coming directly to you, my friend. I think Max is going to be the last caller. I apologize to anyone else that I missed. Try to get to everybody. Salutes to my guy, Max. Good to see you in here, my friend. Listen, Jets, Bills, man, give me your thoughts about Mike White and what he's been able to do so far. Were you impressed with the guts that we saw from him against the Bills?
I was very impressed by Mike White. I thought he played really good. He had 2 rib injuries, came back. He is such a tough SOB. Dak Wilson would never do that. Most quarterbacks who had that serious rib injury, so they'd be out like the entire game. Mike White was tough. He was in there. He was in there for like multiple snaps. He couldn't even breathe some snaps, and he played still very good even with that injury.
Yeah, he did. Listen, he played phenomenal, and again, he was getting crushed and taking his hits. Now, you look at this New York Jets situation. Give me your thoughts about Garrett Wilson. He's just been unbelievable this season. Now holds the Jets' single-season rookie receiving records. How do you feel about him, man?
I think he's really good. And also another point is that Garrett Wilson always complains about the refs, which I do agree with. I feel like the refs clearly hate the Jets. That's why I feel like. And I'm actually going to the Lions game next week. And I think that the Jets will beat the Lions. I think it's going to be like a shootout, though, because, you know, I'm going with 4 friends, one that's a Lions fan. I mean, as much as I want the Lions, I think they're a good team. I think, you know, I get our defense is good, but the Lions are the second-rated offense. I think we're going to go into a shootout with the Lions. They like to go for on 4th down. They like to unconventional play calls. And also with the game, I noticed from the Bills game and later games is I feel like we should let go of Mike LaFleur. I think he's not that good of an offensive coordinator. He was only really hired because he was brothers of Matt LaFleur. I think maybe a new offensive coordinator that actually runs creative play calls. I feel Mike LaFleur runs the most predictable play calls of all time. He's like Adam Gase level of play calling.
Whoa, okay.
He can't use our weapons.
Whoa, okay. Look, I respect your take there. Look, I like Mike LaFleur. We've seen him be able to put some things together, but his game planning, particularly in the red zone, has been spotty this season. Before I let you go, Max, give me your final score prediction. Jets, Lions, who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
I I'll be at the game, so I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be Jets 30 and the Lions like 27. So it's going to be like we'll tie one by 3 points.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Max. I got to let you go. You have yourself a good one. Again, we'll keep rolling. Salutes to everybody, man. We're getting short on time. I got to give you guys my prediction extremely quickly. Whew. It was a hot show, filled with a lot of callers, a lot of takes flying, moving through everybody. I want to hear from everybody. Listen, this is going to be a tough game for the Jets. I'm hoping Quinnen Williams plays if he can play. I don't want him out there if he's not healthy. So that's going to be interesting to see going forward. I'm worried about this Jets offensive line, man. Whoa. I mean, the Lions don't have a great defense, but you still got some pass rushers over there. They got Hutchinson. They got guys that can get after it. You keep getting Mike White hit like that, you're going to have big problems. Mike White is supposed to play in this upcoming game. They said he's healthy. I like, him going in there. I think he's going to be able to do some things. Garrett Wilson, I expect to go off. Elijah Moore, I expect to have a big game. And I think this is a game where our running game is going to turn around. I expect a rebound game from Michael Carter. You got to have a better game, all right? This game this week was poop, okay? Bam Knight as well, I think, is going to get some work too. Hopefully we'll see our tight ends be more involved in the offense. Defensively, I think Sauce and Reed is going to be able to shut down Chark and Brown as well. Man, oh, man. Those guys have been phenomenal this season. And I think our pass rush, even if Quinnen doesn't play, is just going to absolutely get after Goff and bang him around. From Lawson to Jermaine Johnson, who had a big play this week with the block punt and all that stuff. So I think we're going to be all right. I'm taking the New York Jets to beat the Lions 27-10. 27-10. I'm taking the Jets, man. Yeah. I know people have talked about them possibly scoring 30 points on us. I respect that the Lions have a great offense, but I don't think they're going to put 30 up on us. Not this defense. I just don't. But either way, I think even if they do, we're going to be able to chase those guys down with our weapons. If we can get guys blocking for Mike White, okay? Don't let this guy get crushed every damn play, all right? So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and close out the show now. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on Twitter as well, at The Long Beach Joe. At The Long Beach Joe, all right, on Twitter, okay? Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. All right? He's hurt right now, but he'll be back next season, baby. No worries. Okay? And when he comes back, best believe he's going to dominate. That's what we do at SC Fight On. All right? You can also follow me as well at YoungJ000 as well. That's my personal page. Feel free. All right. I'm also on YouTube as well. Go on over to YouTube. Type in Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. All right. Hit that sub button. Sub up. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. All right. And if you want to troll me on there, no issues. Go ahead. Get in that comment section. Troll me. Leave me a comment. We can go back and forth and I'll troll you. All right. We do live streams over there. We do it all. Come on over. Join the live streams. Get in that chat with the Savages. Don't get crazy because they will. They'll take you out. They'll take you out. Call them the Savages. Why? They're savage. All right. They get after everybody. So come on over to YouTube, Long Beach Joe Jets. Subscribe. Troll me. Let's go back and forth. And as always, people, when you see me in person, because eventually you will, all right, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. I would thank everyone. All right. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. No matter what anyone says, the hugs will always remain free. I want to thank you folks for listening, calling in, all the Savages in the chat, going back and forth as well. I want to thank everyone that interacts with my content any way that you do. All right. Without you folks, I'm absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the times out of your day to come on over, join your boy, and have a lot of fun. So you folks have a good one. Oh, before we get out of here, let me go ahead and end this poll here. Before we get out of here, we got to make this known. The Savages, with a ton of votes, have decided that, yes, the New York Jets will beat the Lions, so that's their prediction as well. Jets will get a win. So before we get out of here, I had to say that too. So I want to thank everyone again for listening. You folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. Pow. Okay, I should be back. Salutes, everybody. Listen. Whew, this was a fire show. Okay, lots of calls. Again, thank everybody for calling. I apologize to anyone I may have missed. Again, I love having these shows. This is what I do for those of you that are new. ! Links in the chat brings up my link tree. My link tree has links to all of my social media platforms. Okay, it also has the links to all of my content. Other channels I have content on, I will get to that. Believe me, my schedule has been crazy. Everyone knows I have a crazy schedule. So I try to get to that as much as possible, all right? We do these shows year round. The number does not change. I'll get to that in a second. Val going to tell me to be quiet, but I'm not, because I'm going to tell y'all a little trick about how you can get on the show earlier, okay? In a second, all right? I know Val ain't going to want to hear it. Ain't going to want other people to hear it, but I'm about to tell y'all. So we do these shows year round. We have a lot of fun. All right. Keep in mind, the show is all about opinions and takes. I want to hear it. When you call in, please make sure that your background is clear. Okay. If your background's not clear, if it's too much, bro, I'm going to move on from you quickly. Okay. But I want to hear your takes. Now, I give everybody time. And again, tonight, as y'all saw, quite a bit of callers. Okay. We try to get to everybody. All right. Now, again, when there's a lot of callers and we're moving and things are jumbled, because again, I have a lot of callers. Okay. You got to give me your takes, be concise, and get rolling. I can't give everybody 20 to 30 minutes. I can't. If I could, believe me, I would do it. All right. But I can't. Okay. I got to move on. We got to move forward. We got to keep rolling, because I have to respect everybody's time, and I have a slotted amount of time that we can run this show. Okay. That's how it works. All right. So give me your takes quickly, especially if I'm saying, hey, give me your takes, because I don't want to hang up on anybody, but I will. All right. I don't want to shoot nobody, but I will. Okay. So just know that. And I want to hear your takes, and I want to hear, quickly when it's time to move forward. And we got a lot of callers. I don't want to get through it. So the only thing I do not allow on my show is cursing. Do not call into my show cursing. I'll get you out of here if you keep it rolling. Again, y'all heard tonight. I'll tell you, listen, it's a family show. All right, slow it down, correct that, and let's move on. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but this is a family show. We have children that listen to the show. We have, old people that listen to the show. This is a family show. All right, so don't call in cursing. So make sure your background's clear. I don't want to hear a bunch of crazy noises, or I'm going to move on from you quickly. I cannot have that, because if I cannot hear you and my audience can't hear you, there's nothing I can do with you. Also, make sure you have a good phone, because if your phone, you got your phone out of the Home Depot dumpster, or it's a phone that you found in the Disneyland bathroom, all right, I can't hear you, okay? If you got me, if I'm trying to listen to you and it's a mad echo, and you got me on these headsets that you found, under the backseat of an old Chevelle, what are you doing? I need to be able to hear you, okay? So take those headsets that you found from the trunk of a Seville, put those back in that Seville trunk, all right, and allow me to hear you, straight through your good phone, all right? Don't have me on speaker trying to talk to me from 3 rooms away. I need to be able to hear you. If I cannot hear you, and I'm going to have to move on from you. And again, I want to hear your takes. I want to hear what you have to say. But if it's crazy, I'll move on, and I'll have to go on, okay? Because again, my callers need to be able to hear you. I need to be able to hear you to go back and forth and hear your takes. Now, this is the part of the show that Val loves, okay? This number right here, this number is going to be the number for the show for the foreseeable future. Until I tell you it's going to change. It's always going to be this number. Now, a trick that a lot of veteran callers do, and many of them do this, I announce when I'm going to do my shows on my social media. Some days it's a Tuesday, some days it's a Friday. It can be various days because of my schedule, okay? But I announce it hours before it happens, okay? Again, if you sub on my YouTube, if you have not subbed, please hit the subscription button and you hit that notification bell. My YouTube, my lives are up as well there too, okay? Also, YouTube be tripping sometimes. We all know that. But My notifications will be there as well. So when I go live, you will know for sure. Especially, again, follow me across all of my social media platforms. You know for a fact when I'm going to go live. It's generally always 7 p.m. Eastern, okay, on whatever day that I go live. Now, with that said, 7 p.m. Eastern is when the show starts. But the phone lines for the show, Val, the phone lines for the show, everyone, opens up about 5 to 10 minutes before the show starts. Now, if you call in about 5 to 10 minutes before the show starts and just wait till the show starts, I usually do about a maybe 10-minute, maybe 15-minute spiel about my takes on a discussion of what we're going to talk about, a game, the upcoming game, our roster, whatever it is that we're talking about with the Jets. And then after that, I go straight to the callers. I get to the callers as quickly as possible. I get my takes out there, and then I want to hear from y'all. The people that be getting on the show a lot earlier are the people that do that. They just call in and wait. They call in 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the show and just sit on the line. That's what they do. So if you want to get on the show earlier, you can do that as well. It's free for everyone to do. And there's a lot of veteran guys that don't want to hear it, don't like when I say that, but it's an old trick that it works every time, okay? It's designed to work like that. So get on the show earlier if you like to. Call in about 5 to 10 minutes before the show starts. I give my little spiel and take. Again, tonight we had a great guest on. Again, everybody, please get involved with the toy drive if you can. Jersey City Fire Department, go over there, take a toy, and make a kid's day. And so that's how you get on the show earlier. So that's what a lot of people do. But again, please be patient, okay? Be patient, all right? When you get on these lines, I want to hear from everybody, and we have quite a bit of callers. So, yeah, so with that, we also game on this channel too, so if I pop up and you see me playing Street Fighter or something else, whatever, come on up by and join your boy. I play NBA 2K. I play all kinds of stuff on this channel from time to time when the schedule allows, all right? When the schedule allows. Watch SFL says OT. Yeah, and we also do live game reactions as well. So you might see me pop up and do a live game reaction. I'm thinking at this point I might be able to do the live game reaction for this upcoming game against the Lions. We might be watching that together, okay? But again, follow me across my social media, and I'll let you guys know for a fact whether I'm going to do it. But right now, it's looking like that's going to happen, okay? So we might be watching that game together. Now, keep in mind, after the game, we do a live radio show. Live. And I'll let you guys know when the lines open. The lines open about maybe 3-4 minutes after the game. Ends on my side. Boom. We go live. Get your takes. And that's what it's all about. Again, when you call in, be patient. We get to everybody. So I'll let you guys know for sure if we're going to be watching that game coming up together. So with all that, I think I've gotten through all of that. It's a lot of fun with this stuff. Again, I want to thank everybody for calling in. It's why I do the show. I want to connect with everybody, all Jets fans, all right? So we have a lot of fun doing that. But I'll let you guys know for sure if we're doing that live game reaction. But again, right now it's looking that way. So, yeah, we've talked about it all. Listen, I want to thank everybody again for joining me. Man, this was a crazy show. A lot of callers, a lot of hot takes. Venom G salutes. Venom G says, yeah, boy. Salutes NY Jets FL. Salutes Jets fan. Good to see you in here as well. He says, clear background. That's a fact. Max salutes to you as well. Good to see you in here as well, my friend. Venom G says, great show. Thank you. Val wants to keep it quiet. I'm telling everybody. You know what I'm saying? Salutes, Val. Good to see you in here as well. Just everybody that came on by. How about them Jets? Everybody. Peter, even though I see you trolling. Good to see you in here. You stopped by. Larry Coleman, always good to see you in here too. Everybody just came on by. James, always good to see you in here. My guy Brick City, salutes to you. Always good to speak to you. Just everybody that comes on by. Randilla, all the guys that be in here all the time, man. GVH, salutes to you. Good to see you in here as well, man. And just always good to have fun, man. Always good to have fun, And again, just please be patient when you call in because the lines are usually hot. So salutes again to GVH as well, man. And also Rusty, salutes to you as well. Rusty, good to see you in here too. Budgeting D, always good to see you. Everything Jets, everything NY Jets, salutes to you as well. Good to see you in here as well, my friend. Everybody that just came on by and said what's up to you, boy. Enjoyed time in here. Jake Klein, always good to see you in here as well too. everybody just came on by, man. GM, David as well. Salute to everybody that just came on by, man. Always good to see y'all in here. So I'm going to get on out of here because my schedule is crazy. I got to go. Listen, be safe, folks. Be safe, all right? The world is crazy, okay? I don't know why it's getting so crazy, but it's getting crazy, all right? Listen, be safe. Sit down with your friends and your family. Holidays are coming as well. Happy holidays to everyone, in case I didn't say that enough, or I didn't say it at all, actually. I apologize. Happy holidays to everybody. Sit down with your friends and your family. Enjoy yourselves. Get some good food, all right? Make some memories. Sit down, watch some good TV. Make the memories with the people that you love the most. Let the people that you love know that you love them the most. It's extremely important, especially in today's time, all right? You never know. You never know what can happen. It's extremely important in my life to let the people that I love know that I love them. Please make it extremely important in yours, all right? So I'm going to get on out of here. Again, I'll let you folks know for sure if we're doing a live game reaction. I'm going to get on out of here. Please follow me again across all of my social media platforms. Let me hit you folks with that again just in case, all right? That's the link tree. It'll be there for all of y'all that are new. Please, join me. I'll let you guys know again if we'll be doing a live game reaction. Get on out of here. You folks have a good one.